Breaking news coming out this hour from the United States, where high-profile Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson is leaving Fox News, the network reaching an agreement with him to part ways with the controversial host. His exit comes in the wake of Fox News' recent settlement of close to $800 million in a defamation lawsuit that was launched against Fox News by Dominion Voting Systems. Of course, the company was angry over the way that Fox News and Tucker Carlson and others had portrayed the company, seeming to suggest there was conspiracies involved with the voting machines and they had managed to swing the election away from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. The network saying that Friday's show, last Friday, would be the last show for Tucker Carlson, and as of tonight, he will be replaced by a new show, which will be called Fox News Tonight. Again, Fox News, Tucker Carlson parting ways. Certainly had his share of critics. We're going to have lots more on this story throughout the day right here on CTV News Channel. In our country, Canada's Airlines in the firing line today. The federal government announcing new rules to make the airlines more accountable to passengers and less able to dodge responsibility when things do go wrong, as they invariably do. The transport minister says the tougher rules will simplify the whole complaint resolution process. Under the changes, airlines will have to set up an internal plan to deal with travel claims from disgruntled passengers, and they will face even more pressure to compensate people who have been affected by flight disruptions. Listen to this.
With the new changes, we would be combining the current three categories, which are disruption within the airline's control but necessary for safety, and outside the control of the airline, into a single category where everyone would be entitled to compensation except for a clear list of exceptions.
Today is day 6 of a strike affecting the federal government. More than 150,000 workers have been off the job since last Wednesday over salaries, job flexibility. Today, more picket lines have been set up at places across the country.
We love our jobs. We want to make sure that, tax returns are done. And the only way that we can afford to keep working for the employer is to get a raise with inflation.
The union wants 13.5% over 3 years in salary increases. The government is offering 9% over 3 years. The walkout, affecting about a third of the total workforce, includes passport offices, the Canada Revenue Agency, as well as citizenship and immigration issues. All right, back to this breaking news we're following from the U.S. Fox News has cut ties with Tucker Carlson, the controversial conservative commentator whose show was often the most watched cable news program in the U.S. According to a statement from Fox, it's time for the two to part ways. Steve Farnsworth is my guest, author of Spinner in Chief, How Presidents Sell Their Policies and Themselves. Steve, always good to see you. Your thoughts on Tucker Carlson leaving Fox?
Well, my first reaction is that this is an amazing development. This was completely unexpected. We had just had a settlement last week with the Dominion case, and there was no reference to Tucker Carlson and Fox having to part ways. And so we're really looking at this new development with a level of astonishment. The company and the host, Tucker Carlson, haven't told us much yet. So there's a lot still of by way of unanswered questions regarding this situation.
I know that his critics had said that he was corrosive for democracy, that he had pushed conspiracy theories through his guests, that he had helped to get Donald Trump elected and sort of fan the flames of the MAGA Trump base. Your thoughts on all of that? I mean, the role that Tucker Carlson played, let's say in the last 6-7 years or so, the intersection, Steve, with politics, Republican politics.
Well, absolutely. I think it's important to recognize how tightly wound the combination is between the Trump movement and Fox News, particularly with Tucker Carlson. All the things that you say are true. He was a very popular host. He was one of the places that Donald Trump went to first at Fox News when he had something to say. And the issues with respect to the deceit that Fox engaged in leading up to that Dominion lawsuit and settlement, a lot of that had Tucker Carlson's fingerprints on it. So on the bright side, he was an extraordinarily profitable host for Fox News. On the negative side, of course, he's also a magnet for litigation. And perhaps one of the issues that really encouraged Fox News to take this step was the possibility that the additional cases that the company is facing would also draw a lot of attention to Tucker Carlson, the most popular and also the most legally challenged of the hosts.
Tucker Carlson out at Fox News. Thanks for this, Steve. Much appreciated.